you're going to be driving in Spain for the first time. You're nervous. Of course you're nervous. You're driving on the opposite side of the car, opposite side of the road. You're driving in a foreign country. It's just natural to be nervous. The first time that I was going to drive in Spain, I was nervous. And you feel a bit of a dope as well, because you're not too sure what sort of questions that you should be asking people, whether or not people would actually have the answer to those questions as well. When I went onto YouTube or other forums 20 odd years ago, I didn't have that information, just sort of played it by ear. But I'm going to give you a rough idea, the way that I tend to do things to try and make your life so much more simpler, to try and get that stress taken away just before your holiday. Because I've been there at the English airport thinking about it, been on a plane thinking about it, getting to the higher desk thinking about it. And it is only until you're about 20, 30, 40 minutes into your journey that you're realising, oh, bloody hell, I didn't need to panic about it in the first place. So let's put a few things in place first. You've gone to the higher desk. They're taking you around the car. Film it. Film the bonnet. Film the sides. Film the mirrors. Film the wheels. Film any damage to the car whatsoever. Inside, outside. Film the whole shebang. Keep that film for at least 3 to 4 months. Do not get rid of that film. And I'll explain to you why on another video, but keep that film. So let's get from, you've got the car, you filmed it inside and out, the guy or girl is gone, you're now sitting in the car, you got your bags at the back, you're now sitting in the car. What do? You need to get to know the car. Even if you've driven the car before, the same sort of model, you need to get used to it. And I'll explain to you why. Take something as simple as, right, putting on the air conditioner or putting on the heating. If it is hot when you're in Spain, make sure that air conditioner's on. Try to get the temperature down so you're not so nervous. Make sure if you want automatic lights on that you switch on the automatic lights. Make sure that if you've got a digital screen here, that it's not in Spanish, it's in English. And you can ask the people in the hire shop to actually change that for you. Some vehicles don't do it, by the way, just to warn you, but a lot of vehicles can change the language, so make it easier. These are all little things that make things so much more simpler, hence brings down your, what's the word I'm looking for? Brings down the tension. Okay. Now, you're in the car. You've checked out the controls. You've done all that. Now, I want to just quickly explain to you the differences between a Spanish car and an English car. So, the first non-difference is that the pedals are exactly the same on this side. So on the right hand side there, you've got the accelerator, brake and clutch. On this side, you're going to have the accelerator, brake and clutch. It's going to be exactly the same. So there's no need to worry about that part, is there? The gear stick, oh, I meant to point down there. The gear stick is actually going to be in exactly the same spot. The handbrake is going to be in exactly the same spot. So there are two things you don't really need to worry about. Now, with the steering wheel, the main differences that I've seen when renting a car is that sometimes these stalks are different. So, for instance, if you look here, it's got the lighting stalk, and the other side is the windscreen washer stalk. Sometimes when you get in one of these cars, they're actually vice versa. So again, that's why you, that's why you double check the controls before you even drive off. So that's the main difference I've seen on the steering wheel. If you do go for an upgrade, of course, and it's got a lot more digital stuff, then it's going to take a little bit more time to get used to what the lights are, how it dims and all that sort of stuff. Now, this seems like a long-winded way of doing things, but believe it or not, doesn't take any time whatsoever to learn it. And having someone in the car, a passenger, your husband, your wife, whatever it is, going through it all with you is better, because as you're driving along, if they see you doing something incorrectly, they can quite nicely, politely, guys, tell the wife nicely that she's doing something wrong. Okay? Now, being on this side of the car, when you first get in it, even though it's going to have that steering wheel there, it's going to feel bloody odd. It's going to feel weird. I've got to be honest. Don't panic. Take it easy. What I would suggest you do, before you pull out of the rental car park or the airport, drive around the car park. Drive around it 2 or 3 times just to get used to being on that side of the car. Believe it or not, it helps. It helped me the first time I was driving in Spain, so definitely do that. Now, you've filmed the car, you've checked out the controls, you understand the accelerator, clutch and brake are all in exactly the same place as they are on the right hand side in Britain. When you're driving, what tends to happen, and it's happened to me so many times, is that you will try and change the gears on your left hand side where that is, right? If you do that, don't panic. You're just keeping your foot going on the clutch to keep the car going or whatever, and just gently just go over to there and then just change gear there. You will tend to find within, if I was going by myself, I think I'd done it on the way to my parents' place. I've probably done it about 5 or 6 times, trying to change the gears on the left hand side. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same. So just remember, the accelerator, brake, clutch, exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. Steering wheel is going to be on this side, fair enough. The stalks may be different on each side. So your lighting stalk might be on that side and your windscreen washer type thing would be on this side. When you get in the car, it's very important that you turn on the stuff that you need. So automatic lights, for instance, air conditioning, for instance. Change the radio to English words type thing. Put it onto a station that you can actually have reception for, so you don't have that to worry about. Just drive around. Just drive around the actual airport. There's always a place that you could just quickly go around, or maybe the car hire place. Drive around this before you actually go and hit the main road, especially where my family come from. It goes from the airport to a major roundabout, to the next major roundabout, to the motorway. And to be fair, the motorways in Spain and the roads in Spain are absolutely fantastic. So you just got to remember, just take your time, do one thing at a time, get it in your head, and I promise you within about 30, 40, I think the maximum time someone told me that to really get it clicked in the head was probably about an hour to 2 hours. But generally you will pick things up very quickly because they're only minor changes in the car, and really all you're doing is driving on the opposite side of the road, and the road pretty much tells you how to get there, and it sort of directs you to it. I'll do another video on roundabouts and any other junctions that I can think of at another time. But if you do have any questions, remember, questions, no such thing as a dumb question. If you do have any questions that you want me to answer, then feel free to comment below. If I get quite a few of the same ones, then I'll do a video just on that. When I do go to Spain, which will be in August, I'll be doing even more videos on driving in a Spanish car, Spanish roads, etc, etc. And I will show you what it's like to drive in Spain and how the roads are just beautiful. So until the next time, seeing how it is getting dark and it is night, hasta mañana. Bye.